As a fan of Star Trek, we've been taught for decades that hive minds are dangerous and cannot be trusted. Resistance is futile. Alright, we've seen Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and for the most part, we love them both. So, based on such a pedigree, we thought, why not check out Vance Gilligan's latest creation, Pluribus, over on Apple TV.
The fancy network hardly anyone subscribes to.
Well, that ain't gonna help with our views and subs. We're not doing it for the views and subs, McCluck. So what are we doing it for? The interaction with our viewers. So, Pluribus. Something on your mind? Well, we've had a bunch of giant ongoing stories lately, and they rarely end up being that satisfying. That's a lot of commitment to end up being pissed off by the end. I know what you mean, but that doesn't mean this one will go down the same path as those others. This is Vince Gilligan we're talking about, and he did some incredible work in the past. That's why we decided to watch Pluribus. And what we did. At least the 2 currently available episodes. And it starts slow, like very slow, with what seems to be the same scene being repeated 3 times in slightly different ways. Well, to be fair, it really only gets going after the accident in the lab.
Which was so signposted. I'm sure we all knew what was going to happen before it did.
Yeah, that was so predictable. But I guess we needed an incident for the whole thing to happen. And that's when the creepiness factor kicked in, and the creepiness factor was excellent.
I suddenly thought it had very Invasion of the Body Snatchers vibes.
Totally.
It was dark and creepy, and it got darker and creepier the further into the episode we went.
With a dash of humor, but not too much as to break the immersion. Just enough to make you laugh at the absolute insanity and absurdity of what was going on. All in all, the first episode took a third of its runtime to get going, but once it did, it was top-notch stuff. Couldn't wait for the next episode. And then the next episode happened, and I was personally wondering just what the hell I was watching. Okay, spoilers here because we need to delve into some aspects of the story. We learn at the end of the first episode that only 11 people in the entire world are like our protagonist, Carol, and haven't been infected. They're immune somehow. And the infected want to make sure that they have everything they need and have the best possible life until they can find a way for them to join them and be one with the Borg or something.
Creepy.
Very creepy.
There's also no explanation as to how that alien virus gave humanity a telepathic hive mind.
To be frank, I'm okay with that. It happened, now we need to see how our protagonist will deal with the situation. Hence our initial excitement for the second episode. Which I have to say felt really flat. Well, the concept was interesting. Oh, it is. None of the infected have any sense of self. They all act and think alike, and they all know everything everyone else knows. It's very interesting. Yeah, they all know how to drive, how to fly a plane, how to perform surgery, how to do scientific experiments, how to cook. There are no secrets. Everyone knows everything.
So what happens when everyone knows everything, huh? Where's the spark? Where's the creativity that allows people to build on other people's work? That's how progress is done. That's how art happens. What happens to humanity when that's gone?
Very good questions, Doc. Unfortunately, this show isn't dealing with that. At least, not yet. It would be a good twist if the Hive couldn't find a solution for Carol and the others because of that, and they remained as individuals. Well, all that's speculation, guys. For now, it seems that for some reason, the Hive's entire focus is solely on pleasing the 11, and then later 12, uninfected people. It's like the Quiet Earth, except with staff. And prostitutes.
Yeah, about that, if those ladies no longer have their own minds, how can that even be seen to be consensual?
And does that mean everyone on Earth knows when that French dude is having sex with those girls, and how he's doing it, and if they're enjoying it or not? I suppose they do.
But why entertain the uninfected? Why not just kill them?
Bit drastic of you, Doc. Well, that's because they can't kill anyone or anything, Doc. They tell us they wouldn't kill an animal for its meat, and they would go out of their way to even avoid killing an insect.
I don't buy that. I mean, it makes no sense. First of all, we learned that the conversion process killed 800 million people worldwide, so they can't kill anyone or anything aside from 10% of the population.
Well, that's what they say.
And you buy that. Plus, when Carol gets emotionally angry in front of one of them, the entire hive mind goes into some kind of epileptic fit. And we later learn that caused the deaths of 11 million people.
And she did it twice.
So, Carol killed, let's say, 20 million people, and the hive mind doesn't think that's a good reason to end the life of a single being? One being is more important than 20 million? That's taking the needs of the one outweighing the needs of the many to an absurd extreme. I just don't buy that kind of fake passivity. Okay, just kill Carol. The others are fine with the way things are. Carol's the mass murderer. Why protect her?
Maybe there's another reason that hasn't been revealed just yet? I know what it is. What is it? Carol's the protagonist. She's got super plot armor. There better be a more satisfying reason, I'll tell you that for nothing. Now, generally in stories like these, we have a hero, in this case Carol, who is faced with a challenge. In this case, the entire world population has been infected and is now a hive mind. And she must now overcome this challenge and prevail. But how can she? She's just a writer. She has no knowledge of anything, of biology, genetics, anything. And the other handful of uninfected are in the same boat. Plus, they're unwilling to help. Most just want to join the collective, while one just treats it as his own private party on orgy. So, what happens now? Where is the story going? Is the idea that we're meant to believe and accept that a hive mind is the best thing for humanity?
Why not? There's no crime, no want, everyone works for the same goal. What's not to like?
Individuality? Well, what if that's overrated? How very communist of you. Hey, I'm not rooting for the hive mind. But if you think about it, that hive mind is solving pretty much all problems in human societies. But how can a single person with no knowledge of anything, save for her own imagined world, do anything to save humanity from its current condition? There is no way she can save the world. Humanity's already lost. She can't overcome anything. So, what's next?
Maybe that's the message of the show. The collective trumps individuality.
Maybe we'll know in the next episode. Once she travels to Las Vegas on board the party bus that is Air Force One. Okay, the first episode, at least 2/3 of it, was great. The second episode kind of felt like filler. We didn't learn anything that couldn't have been told to us in 5 minutes instead of 50. So, are they stretching the story with a lot of padding to fit the prescribed runtime? I guess time will tell, but until then, I'm awarding the first episode 3 paws, and the second 1.5. But tell me, what do you think of these episodes? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you like what we do, and how we do it, and you feel you'd like to help us out,
please consider joining our Patreon.
We'll leave a link to it in the description. Thanks for watching. See you all next time, and until then, live long and smoke me a caper. I'll be back for breakfast. We learned at the end of the first episode that only 9? Where'd that come from?